From the heartbeat of books we read for you today, the novel On the Platform of Life We Meet, written by Fuad Hijazi. In this journey, woven with fate and dreams, Fuad Hijazi takes us through the quiet alleys of the soul, where pain meets hope and every fall becomes the beginning of a new rise. This is not just a story about migration or loss. It is a reflection of every heart that once stood at life's platform, hesitant between staying and leaving, between fear and faith. Through deep emotions and poetic imagery, the author paints a world where the search for meaning becomes the true voyage, a story that whispers to every listener that life, no matter how harsh, still carries within it a reason to begin again. On the Platform of Life We Meet. Written by Fuad Hijazi, a title that carries both longing and fate, where life's crossroads become the meeting, point of dreams and destinies. To those who fell, suddenly, in a moment they never planned for. To those who felt their dreams were too vast for the place they lived in, and their pain deeper than what the body could bear. To those who sat in cracked classrooms, yet their souls looked out through the windows of absence toward a wider sky. To those whose silence cried louder than their words, whose prayers choked in their chests before they could be spoken. To you, whose wounds cannot be seen, yet still bleed. Who hid your sorrow behind an unbroken smile. Who believed that falling is not the end, but the beginning of something new. I dedicate this story to you. May it whisper gently that God never abandons a heart sincere in its journey, that even the pain you carry hides doors not yet opened. Hold on to life, not as one searching for escape, but as one seeking meaning between loss and hope. For in every pain there is a message, and in every journey wisdom worth living. Life writes its stories in lines of fate that cannot be erased. He carries within him fragments of injustice and shadows of forgotten dreams. A journey into the unknown, destiny pushing him to search for himself among the corners of exile and the distant light of hope. This is the story of fate that places us before trials, sometimes to break us, sometimes to rebuild us, until we understand that what we call a fall might just be the beginning of a new rise. He whispers to himself, "Is my destiny to stay here? Or is migration my only way out? This place no longer fits his dream." Qutayba, 20 years old, was not like other young men. His heart carried a heaviness without a name. He always felt something was missing, that his life here was only the beginning of a longer road. He grew up in a crowded neighborhood where the earth was narrow and dreams even smaller, but he looked at the sky above him as an open invitation to seek, to chase the meaning that slipped away day after day. Inside, a storm burned, between fear and hope. He felt that staying was slow death, and leaving, though terrifying, might be the only way to be reborn. He faced the unknown, conquering his fear of loss and exile. He knew that silence kills slowly, and that migration was not escape, but a way to rebuild the self, to break the chains that once bound his soul. Migration, through all of history, has never been merely a change of place. It is a symbol of transformation, of searching for dignity, for a future yet unseen. He picked up his trembling suitcase, slipped the ticket into his pocket, and walked away from a place burned by memory, toward a world still waiting to be discovered, a world of struggle, of chances, and perhaps success. He whispers again with quiet resolve, to strive. That is life, and migration is the beginning. Because destiny, like the wind, may sometimes seem harsh, but it always carries the ship to where it is meant to be, where we don't just read stories, we live them and search within their lines for a deeper meaning of life. If you enjoyed this novel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell to stay with us for every new heartbeat of literature, thought, and beauty. Because every book is another heart that beats with life.